Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Into the Emerald Dream card review, and today is Mage Day, and I have to say, this is one of my favorite archetypes I've seen all expansion. I think this set's been sweet outside of Rogue, but the Mage and Imbue stuff, we got some really cool stuff to go over here. WISP will be meta in Hearthstone. That's crazy. Anyways, you want to win these cards? We have a giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed next Wednesday, I will add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So starting off, I mentioned WISP. We have a brand new card here, the Wisprider, a 5 mana 4/4 minion with Battle Cry. Imbue your hero power, then trigger it. Kind of reminds me of like Reckless Apprentice that used to trigger your hero power for like every enemy minion. A little bit different, but kind of cool. But what does that mean? What does it mean to imbue your hero power as a mage? Well, you get Blessing of the Wisp. Yeah, that's right. You get to summon 1 wisp, and you get to deal 1 damage randomly split among all enemies. And you'll note both ones are not spelt out, so yes, you can upgrade this to summon an even, not a larger wisp, but more wisps. You can get even more wisps, but more importantly, deal a heck of a lot more damage. Although you're gonna have some board space issues with these wisps that we might be able to take care of, by the way. But yeah, this is possible like infinite style of damage. I guess as you keep imbuing, you keep dealing more damage with that hero power, and of course it's all enemies, so that can go face. So that's pretty darn solid, and if you've imbued a lot, you're going to be getting a pretty crazy hero power that can give you a load on like a giant board fill, as well as yeah, just a ton of damage, which seems pretty darn crazy to me. And I'll even note the Wisp, the Mage gets their own like Wisp style card. It looks slightly different than the regular one, so that's also pretty cool. But yeah, overall, I mean, if you're gonna play Imbue Mage, you're absolutely gonna want to play this. We don't have Bran in Standard, but in Wild you can double dip on this, which is quite nice. And overall, I feel like, yeah, increasing your damage, constant board presence will be awfully annoying, right? But I also do think it's almost a downside to fill your board with wisps, kind of, maybe, I don't know. Like constant, like you can eventually get it up to 7, you get 2 mana, fill the board with 1/1s every single turn. It's gotta be like just constant pressure and annoying, even if it's like filling your board. I think it's overall an upside. So yeah, I'll give this a 4 to 5 in Standard. In Wild, I think all the imbue stuff is going to be too slow. Although there are more like, you could Reckless Apprentice this with that hero power and then deal a lot of damage. I guess summon a lot of wisps you'll fill up eventually, but there is that, right, too? But I feel like that is so very slow. So we'll give it a 2 in Wild, where I just don't think you can really do that. But yeah, I keep mentioning these wisps filling our board. Isn't that annoying? Well, how about I play Divination, a 2 mana arcade spell, destroy a friendly wisp to draw 3 cards. That's right, 2 mana, draw 3. Arcade Intellect is always crying in a corner, even in Mage. But yeah, you need a Wisp on the board, and as long as you got a hero power, that's 4 mana, draw 3 and deal some damage, or you just hard run Wisp, and it's 0. You got what, 2 mana, draw 3, but it does cost you, you have to have the 2 cards to do that. That's really good, but this is insane fuel for any Imbue deck. If I'm playing Imbue Mage, I absolutely want to play this. Maybe a specific combo deck out there just run Wisp, just so you can have this option to kill it. I like it says friendly Wisp, so you can't take advantage of your opponent who's also running Wisp, because I guess now that'll be a thing if it's a Mage mirror. Other than that, it's almost like never relevant, but it is kind of funny. Like, you can't even punish the opponent's Wisp. But yeah, really good card. Again, you're drawing 3 cards for possibly 2 to 4 mana. Even 4 mana, that's like, okay, it's not bad. I'll give it a 4 as well. 4 to 5 in Standard. Like, card draw, it's just crazy how good card draw is these days. Like, you never run out of cards these days. And yeah, this is a great way to keep your hand filling and getting more imbues and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, 4 to 5 in standard and a 2 in wild, where again, you really need Wisp to take advantage of this. And again, the main way you're to do that is imbue. I don't think you really want to hard run a Wisp unless you have tons of Wisp synergies, which maybe we do. We got to look at more cards, and also, yeah, pretty rad signature on that card there. Like, my God, I love the colors on that. That is awesome. Next, we have the Spirit Gatherer. Hey, another way to get a Wisp. It's a 2 mana, 2/1 epic battle cry. Get a Wisp. So you just add it to your hand. Also, you imbue your hero power, which can allow you to summon some Wisps. But yeah, this is just a nice way to get one available if you need it for that spell, I guess, or just you can play it right away. You play a 2 mana 2/1, play a 1/1, you got 3/2/1 stats on the board, and your hero power is upgraded. Not much more to this card than that, really, right? Like, again, it can work with your brand, so you could get 2 Wisps and get 2 imbues if you're playing wild, but overall, outside of that, we're not really doing a heck of a lot more with this card. If you're playing Imbue Mage, you are 100% playing that card. You're playing this in there. So yeah, I'll give it a 4 to 5 for that Imbue Mage deck. That does look like it'll have a realistic shot. And again, in wild, I have to give it a 2 because again, it's too slow. It's too slow, to quote the Andrew G. If you're a Summoning Salt watcher and you know the Mario lore, he says it's too slow. Well, okay, I'm going to way too far down a rabbit hole. Let's just move on to the Merry Moon Kid, a 4 mana 3/6 minion. Hey, we got all these Wisps on the board. How about this? At the end of your turn, gain 1 armor. Repeat for each Wisp you control. So you got 6 Wisps on the board from your hero power. You've already dealt 6 damage. I played my Merry Moonkin and I gained 6 armor. And if they don't kill this, I'll gain 6 more if I still have Wisps. And it's just, how am I killing the mage and summoning Wisps and dealing damage and gaining armor? Not too bad. This card is completely useless outside of, well, actually, no, sorry, I misread the card. Almost pulled a Zeddy. It's not completely useless on its own because it actually gains, what, 7 armor, right? Because you gain 1 armor no matter what with this card. Regardless of Wisps, you repeat for every Wisp after. So if you have 6, you gain 7. Okay, I almost botched that. That would have been so embarrassing. Oh wait, I embarrass myself all the time. I just did an Andrew G reference in a Hearthstone video that like 1% of people, less than that, will even get. Regardless, that's a lot of armor, and this thing needs to die. It's got 6 health for 4 mana, and we all know Mage likes to stick around, and armor gain's been pretty, helpful for them. I think they're not losing. No, they still keep the whiz bang elemental that freezes, so they have other armor gain stuff, but yeah, pretty annoying card. I don't think it's as good as the other imbue cards, but I think this goes into imbue mage. Like, it's just not bad, right? Even if it only gains you like 2-3 armor, I'm probably pretty happy because you know your opponent is going to have to kill this with 6 health, and it's basically got taunt, right? Unless they're killing you. So yeah, it's pretty annoying, pretty resilient. I am very excited to play this archetype, by the way. Mage is probably my favorite class these days, or period overall, and I'm very excited for this. Anyways, I'll give it a 3 to 5 in standard, a 2 to 5 in wild, because again, it goes into the same category for all this stuff for wild. But yeah, definitely a card that can let stuff happen, but we ain't done yet. Another card that gets really good with Wisps is Star Surge. It's a 3 mana arcane spell. Deal 1 damage to a minion. Ugh, that's terrible. However, it's improved by each friendly minion that died this game. So you have all these Wisps dying throughout the entire game. This can deal like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I don't know. You probably not that many minions die, but regardless, it can deal a lot of damage, but it's to a minion. It's just to a minion. And Mage is losing like Reverb, which is one of the better kind of card removal cards out there, and was also beneficial because you would steal the card. This is just purely hard removal. It kind of, you can look at like the Flame Cannon Torch, whatever it's called. They buffed that to 25 damage, and I don't think that would see play in standard. If this gets up to 25, I'm probably not playing this in my deck. Like, it's 3 mana kills something maybe. It's just probably not worth it. But maybe it is. It's just like the one of like Fistful we've seen in like Deathlight, but that's 1 mana. Typically deal a hell of a lot more damage to it than this, and that rarely sees play in Deathlight 2. And I'm just gonna give this a 1 in standard and wild. I just feel like Mage will have better stuff to do. They're probably gonna be killing the minions anyways with their hero power and other effects. But yeah, if this could go face, it'd be a 5-star insane broken card. So I don't think they're ever gonna buff this to go face. If anything, they'll buff it to be like 2 or 1 mana if it's bad. And considering I'm saying it's not good, it must be absolutely broken. Plus it's got a signature. It's got to be good. There's no bad cards with a signature like Dwarf Planet. No, not at all. Not at all. And then lastly, we have the legendary that goes with all this stuff, Asina or Asuna, or I'm going to go with Asina. An 8 mana, 6/8 undead, kind of like the Kel'Thuzad skeleton stats. Battle Cry. If 20 friendly minions have died this game, deal 20 damage split among all enemies. It's an 8 mana double Pyroblast, or like double like Eye of, or Mask of Cthulhu was called, I think. Like, that's a lot of damage. And you know, it's funny, Mage, not really the minion summoning classes, is kind of weird for Mage, but with summoning all these Wisps, I don't feel like it's gonna be that hard if you're constantly imbuing and hero powering, getting those tokens, and then you can play this, slam it on the board, deal 20 damage, right? That's not quite Cthulhu damage, right? Cthulhu did 30, the Dark Moon Fair one, but still, that is a lot, and it's 8 mana, so not something to completely, again, scoff at. That, I don't know, that seems like a pretty sweet like payoff. It might not necessarily OTK, but it's gonna deal a lot of damage in a deck that is constantly dealing damage with that hero power. I don't know, this reminds me of the Skeleton Mage almost, like a lot from Nathri, which I love playing. That was a really fun archetype, and I'm hoping that this has that similar style of feel. And the fact that Wisp could be meta in modern Hearthstone is super rad, and the signature is god tier for this card, that I hope this whole thing works. So I'm gonna give it a 4 in standard. I'll give it a 2 in wild where it's too slow, although pretty funny with like Potion of Illusion. You could build your deck to be like infinite with like Romath and this. It's so unnecessary, and then you have to summon minions. Like, that's not gonna really work, but you can do like a broken infinite combo in wild if you want. So check out the Mark or Alticon video that will come, I'm sure, of a combo like that out there. But really cool set of cards here. I'm really excited for it, and we still have another Mage reveal later today. I don't know if that was the Wild God. I don't think that's the Wild God. Yeah, it actually was the Wild God. Editor Zeddy here. It was the Wild God. I think we still have that coming. I don't think, because we haven't seen any Mage cards yet. So tune in later. We got more Mage reveals, and hopefully they're just as sweet. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.